I'm glad we're off to a good start this morning. All right, welcome back to Draw 15 of the 2015 Club National MOPAC Playdowns. This morning we are kicking it off with tiebreakers, some ladies games, all sorts of good stuff. Where's the big sheet? Starting on sheet A, we've got Patrick versus Huntress. Team Patrick, of course, out of the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. We've got Michael Lively in the Fun Pants, Ryan Winterborn, Mike Greenberg, and Brian Patrick, who I did confirm is wearing Sugar the Bear this morning.
I saw that, yes.
Yes. Over there on Team Huntress.
I think they've been winning ever since he was wearing that shirt. So
I can't confirm that he has not taken it off since then.
I don't see any reason why he should have. I mean,
there's really no reason at all.
This is a sport. Superstition is important.
Right.
So
sleep in the shirt.
it's helping, yeah. Big win last night to get here, so.
I think Suga's got to be happy about that win. Yeah. Over on Team Huntress, local Coyotes Curling Club team, we've got Jeff Baird at lead, Peter Philpott, Wayne Fleming, and Carol Huntress.
Another big win for them last night to get to this spot. This, of course, is the Pool B tiebreaker. We had 3 teams finish at 4 and 2. So we had to go to the last shot draw average to break the initial tie, and then the winner of this game will turn around and play at 10:30 for the men's semifinals, and we'll get you that bracket at the start of that draw.
Is that what LSD stands for there, Corey?
In this instance, that's what I'm told.
I've been confused all weekend, thinking I was missing a party or something. That's good. That's good news.
I'm amazed I was able to get out last shot draw, because I didn't think I would ever get that acronym.
That's why I was teasing you a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That may be the last time that I'm ever able to do that. So
I won't count on it from here then. But I got your back, Corey. So the good news is it's 7:30 a.m. here in Arizona. So I'm pretty sure the only people listening right now are the folks in the warm room. Hi to those folks. I'm sure some people will be joining us as they wake up. It's only 6:30 in California and Portland and whatnot, so we'll let them sleep in. Then again, it is a Monday. It's a holiday for some, but a work day for others, so perhaps people will start listening when they get to work.
I certainly would.
Is that allowed?
No.
Okay.
Not at my job. But,
only if you're using the company Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Okay. Can't say I haven't done that before.
If they don't know or they don't happen to notice at the time, then so be it.
It's better to beg forgiveness and ask permission sometimes, isn't it, Corey?
Definitely easier.
Yeah.
But you see full screen now on sheet A, as we mentioned, and today, conveniently, Team Huntress is throwing the yellow rocks. I know that was some confusion yesterday. In one of their draws, they threw red rocks while wearing yellow shirts, and I know we struggled with that a little bit.
Glad we finally got that sorted out.
They'll be throwing last rocks. I did see the draws beforehand, and they were able to secure last rock in the first end.
From the last shot draw?
Last shot draw.
The LSD?
The LSD, if you will. Yeah. Yes, they use the LSD to get last rock. Do with that what you will.
Oh, I know what I'm doing with it, Corey. It's not too early for a little innuendo, that's for darn sure. So Patrick off to a good start already with 2 in the house and a guard up front. Looks like Team Huntress is going to get past that guard, take out one of those reds there, stick around on the front ring. Again, we're going to try to watch an end on each sheet, just like we have in the last few days, and then from there we'll bounce around to the key matchups, the closest games, or wherever the fans at home tell us we should be.
Good news is this is our first draw with just 3 sheets active, so you guys won't have to deal with too many of our shenanigans bouncing around.
So glad you're here, Corey. I didn't even know that there were only 3 sheets this morning.
I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm not wrong.
The good news is I am not 3 sheets right now. But I still was not aware of that.
Is that good news?
It could be. Gotta wake up before you start drinking, right?
I suppose. So not what they wanted, I think, with that red rock. And got a hit on yellow and moved out of play, but it looks like the yellow rock still shot 2. But they're going to try to hit the red one the other side of the 12 foot and see if they can't lay 2 here.
So, Corey, are you a snooze bar kind of guy? Did you hit the snooze this morning?
Oh, it was a disaster this morning.
Yeah, you weren't just
I
jumping
set
out of bed?
multiple alarms.
Did you?
And snooze. And, oh, yeah.
I myself, big fan of the snooze bar. Hit it at least twice this morning. Not sure, lost track from there. So good hit by Huntress. It's going to roll a little bit further than he probably hoped. I'm guessing it's still biting on that back ring.
Looks like it.
Brian's taking a look at it. Carol's taking a look at it. Everybody's looking at it. I think Suga even looked at it.
Yeah. I wonder what he's thinking, because he's wearing the glasses, so he's probably got the best idea.
Right, best view. All right, so it looks like Team Patrick drawing one into the button there. It's fully exposed, so it looks like, yep, Carol's going to go for the takeout here. There's already 5 people awake today, Corey. That's great news. Happy MLK Day to folks.
Absolutely.
Hope you're
Especially
enjoying
if
your
you're
holiday.
coming to us from Northern California to watch the Patrick team. I know it's 6:30 there for you guys.
Yeah.
So.
I know I heard from a lot of folks last night as I was trying to crawl into bed. They said that they're probably sleeping in a bit this morning, but they'll join us later. Ooh, just a close miss there for Team Huntress. Gives Brian the opportunity to call for the guard here. Here come Mike's last shot. All right. It's a nice guard. It's going to sit right there on the front ring, still providing coverage, but Carol says there's enough room there. He's going to call for the takeout. Just some nice, easy backline weight from Peter Philpott. Oh, wait, that's not Peter. That's Wayne.
Yeah, I think that's
Hello.
Wayne. That'll be his second rock this time around. Yeah, so try to get a hit this time. See the lines there. We saw it last time just a little bit inside and went all the way through. But with a shot like that, if he just gets a touch on that red rock, it definitely will be gone.
Very nice. Well-known fact, not even a fun fact, not much of a morning person, so it's going to take me a while to wake up, but we're good. Some exciting curling is going to get us revved up real quick, isn't it, Corey?
I think so.
Yeah.
A cup of coffee and
A little tea over here.
important curling matches,
Yeah.
games. We'll see. But unfortunately, Wayne's second shot does wreck the guard and pushes that red into the 8 foot. So red's sitting 2, uncovered the one on the shot rock, but red's got one here to try to cover that up. Tricky turnaround for these guys. I know if you were with us last night, Pool B was contested in our late draw last night. All 4 teams playing, so each of these teams played the 8:30 draw last night, 7:30 turnaround, and as we said, the winner will be drawing again at 10:30. So if you're one of the 5-1 teams in the other pools who's sleeping in this morning,
Lucky you.
maybe a team you'd like to draw, I wonder.
Yeah, late game, early game, and then they play again right after this. That's a rough schedule right there, gotta admit. Have you done that before, Corey?
I can't even imagine playing 8 games in 4 days as one of these teams is about to do. Potentially 9 if they're able to win their semifinal matchup.
True athletes. Battling the fatigue, the tiredness.
The most I've ever done is 5 games in 2 days, and that was
That's That's a good stretch.
That was plenty.
Yeah. Alright, so Wayne and Carol chatting things over here. Looking for their best option. I'm guessing they're trying for the double here. You definitely need to cut him down. Patrick now sitting, well, it looks like just sitting 2, but still you don't want to give up too big of a lead here in the first end. We've seen a lot of really close games and then some
Sometimes, it seems
further
like,
spreads. I don't know the nice way to say that.
Hit a big end in the first, and sometimes it's tough to regroup and come back. So we have seen some runaways. We've seen some too that have been looked like they were going to get there, and there've been a couple games that got a little closer. I know last night's match was last night's game for Patrick. He was down, or he was up, I think 5-1 at one point, and get close to 5-4, and they were able to get a 2-ender.
Ooh, a nice hit by Carol there. Unfortunately misses the double, but still opens things up. Brian, I see your comment there. We don't have a women's team for Markowski. We have a men's team for Markowski. So I'm not sure how to answer you here, pal. Alright, so here comes Carol's last shot. This is Hammerstone for the end. Looks like he's trying the run back double again. No, that's not what he's doing.
I think Wayne's giving it some thought. Here, Carol's coming down just to make sure.
Yeah, they gotta make sure that...
It's like they have a chance to draw, but he may be trying to double again.
Looks like, yep, you're right. They're calling for the draw. Which is good. Carol's fairly consistent with those draws. I mean, it's Carol. He hits, he draws, you name it. Oh, okay. So Smith versus Garfinkel. Corey, do you have those standings for the women's pool?
Yep, we do have those, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. After this sheet, we're going to move over to the women's. We'll go through the standings and the possibilities. We actually have 2 potential routes to a 3-way tie in the women's draw, so we'll go over that and see where we could end up.
I'm going to let you be in charge of all those crazy diagrams, rubrics, and all the stuff to figure that out. How about that?
Well, you make it sound complex, so I like that.
In my mind, it is.
It's not as hard as she says.
It's a little more complex than I can fight through at 7:30 in the morning. Alright, so that's the end of the end there.
Did not see where that last rock ended up, unfortunately, but putting a red one in the hack to start, so it looks like an early steal for Team Patrick.
They got to be happy with that. So as they set up for their second end, should we cruise over to the ladies?
I think so. Let's take a look at sheet C. I think sheet B is empty today, so we'll go over there. See, they're just starting up their second end.
Alright, so over here on sheet C, we've got Naso versus Nowlan. both Coyotes teams. So again, we're not being partial. We're going to give everybody some fair airtime, but we know, of course, there's a lot of folks wanting to tune in and see their Coyotes from work today.
You see the warm room there packed behind them out
Yeah.
to support the Coyotes.
Which is great. I heard a lot of "Let's Go Coyotes" this morning, which was very Switzerland.
Very nice.
Very
Wow.
nice in the warm room. So on Team Naso, we have lead Tatiana Keeling, second Anna Byrne, aka Anna Ackridge, Teresa Shaw, and of course Caroline Naso. On Team Nowlan, on the ice today, I believe I saw Debbie warming up, so Debbie Aubrey, Ashley Siggins, Megan Hewler, Becky Nolan, and of course Alex Ramirez also there. You see her back there in the warm room cheering on her team. Little known fact, Tatiana Keeling, former prima donna in the Russian ballet. But you didn't know that, Corey.
Only because you told me yesterday, but no, I didn't know that prior.
May or may not be true.
I feel like it's probably true.
Anna, once bitten by a muskrat.
I think that one's true as well.
I feel believable with
I
that.
still don't know exactly what a muskrat is. I'm picturing some sort of groundhog type creature, but it sounds like they're more of a pest than that.
More the body style of a ferret,
Oh, no.
but slightly amphibious.
So like an amphibious weasel. That sounds really
Pretty much.
terrifying.
Yeah, they're creepy and mean. Brian, we're happy to be here with you. Thanks for putting up with us this early in the morning. We'll remind folks, if we are annoying, there is a mute option available. We know everybody's just hoping for some good curling, and then you get stuck with our shenanigans. That's all right.
But you can see the good curling, and of course this one, as we mentioned, between two Coyote teams here in the women's draw. Team Naso currently sits at 2-1, and in tied for second place. Of course, there's two women's teams from our draw today. Will go on to the club nationals in Fargo. We have Team Smith currently, and we'll see them on sheet D in just a little bit, at 3-0, leading the standings. Team Naso, as we mentioned, is 2-1. Team Garfinkel currently in the game with Team Smith is 2-1 as well. Garfinkel, apologies.
It's okay. Great singer, though.
And Becky Nolan's team is 1-2 currently. So a couple ways to get to a three-way tie here. If Team Nowlan is successful here, this will put both the Coyote teams at 2-2, and Team Garfinkel with a victory, or with a if they were to lose to Team Smith, would be 2-2, creating a three-way tie for second place and Smith winning. Our other potential tie is if Team Garfinkel is victorious, would put Garfinkel and Smith both at 3-1, and then a win by Naso would put her at 3-1, and we'd have a three-way tie with those teams. So I think the tiebreaker goes to the average of the LSD,
Yeah, the last
like
shot
the
draw.
men's tiebreaker did, and then they would play a game, the remaining two.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure on that tiebreaker.
If necessary, those tiebreakers will be held today, one at 1:30 and one at 4:30 if necessary. So, could be another full day of curling, which is exciting. So it looks like Caroline calling for the takeout here. Nudges that rock. It looks like both are going to roll out. Team Nolan still with the nice center line guard there. Becky now calling for the draw. This is Debbie's first shot of the end. And of course, we'll have live scoring updates as they're brought into us. So for those of you that haven't joined us, Corey and I are locked in a little room, one window that faces pretty much nothing. Several fans going. It's a little bit cooler in here this morning.
Yeah, and better, I think, with fewer people in the club, and certainly cooler
Yeah.
outside. So
We definitely like the crowd to come in and watch, but it definitely makes it warmer in here
Yeah.
for us because there's no airflow in here other than the 4 fans that we've stolen.
Don't worry, as it gets warmer too, we'll keep you informed. We'll let you know how unpleasant it is in here.
Yeah, and how
And
we're
so that
managing.
You can share with us.
Because it's not about the athletes, Corey.
No.
No. But we do have the best seats in the house. We can watch multiple games while everybody else in the warm room, they don't get to. We don't really have replay, but with the delay, we get to see stuff again. That's pretty sweet. All right. Oh. All right. Caroline and Becky moving that rock back into play that was removed in error. It's off the rings, but it's still in play, so it's going to hang out back there. I like to call that stuff to trip on. Usually what happens for me. Of course, usually I use other phrases, but what rating are we giving today's show, Corey?
Well, I know we've talked almost exclusively about PG ratings, so I think we want to kind of, especially early,
keep it PG, G-rated.
Unfortunately, you guys will miss out on some of the fun as we won't have a really late draw tonight.
Right. Last night's was
ones,
a bit of a
those
mess.
Those ones are always exciting.
Yeah, sorry about last night if you were tuning in. Got a little punchy.
It was all right.
We had some interesting visitors in the booth. I think good times were had by all. All right. Caroline again calling for a takeout here for that yellow stone on the 12-foot. This being Teresa Shaw throwing here. Caroline's crouching, so that's a good sign.
It's gotta be. She's gotta like it.
Can you explain Ryan McFarland's crouch theory of curling?
It's not a terribly complex theory, and it has held up really well for the last few days as we've been watching this. Generally, anytime the skip or the vice or whomever's in the house, if they stay in a crouch or get in a crouch to call line, we generally accept that they like where it's headed.
Right.
And we use that since we really can't see the space between the hog lines. If the skip crouches, we feel like it's about to be a successful shot.
Now, what's surprising, Corey, me being, we'll call it close to the ice already, a nice way to say that I'm vertically challenged here, I tend to crouch on all those shots where line's important. So I feel like I'm busting Ryan's theory, but we won't tell him that. I'm good at bursting his bubble anyway, so...
The theory would hold as long as you always call the right shot and they throw it for you.
Wow. I mean, that's
But
what my team does.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's what we do, right? Have you ever missed a shot, Corey?
It depends. On days when I'm sitting in here and not actually touching the rocks, I have never missed a shot.
Yeah, Corey and I have won every game
right.
this weekend, in fact. Yeah.
You get me in the hack, and yeah, I've missed a couple.
Yeah.
You know, in each end.
Solid hit there from Team Naso with a nice little roll. Megan and Becky not taking much time to decide here. They're obviously going for the hit.
So it looks like this will be the first skip stone, so we can be pretty confident that Team Naso has the hammer here. So we'll see.
Still waiting on scores from the first end. Hint to the people not listening to us in the warm room. Oh, they don't even have the TV on. That's how horrible we are, Corey. They don't even want to hear it.
No, they're happy seeing it. They don't want any of us this morning. So
a little rude to our friends at needbonspieler.com for updates on live scoring, but
I'll go grab them here after the
we'll
conclusion of the
reprimand
second
somebody.
end and get you over to sheet D so you can see a little bit of that game with Team Smith and Team Garfinkel.
You should rough them up while you're out there, Corey. Intimidate them a little bit. Coming from me, they'd laugh. Coming from you, I feel like we'll get scores more handily from there. All right. Nice takeout by Becky there. A little bit of a roll. Still fully exposed. So Caroline and Teresa calling for the hit and roll here, it looks like. Teresa would like to see a roll there.
Yeah, trying to kind of move across the sheet here, take out the rock and get covered up. Red in a good position as their guard rock, so to speak, is actually touching the rings. So could could end up with 2 if that rock comes into play or more, with 2 rocks to throw.
We know some of the teams that won't be playing today are probably headed home, so safe travels to the teams that are already leaving. Safe travels to those yet to go. Hopefully we'll be seeing several games today. It'd be nice to have a full weekend of curling, full long weekend of curling in fact. Alright, a takeout there by Caroline. Probably not as much of a roll as Teresa was hoping for. It does still stay fully exposed, but hey, that's alright. Here comes Megan Hewler calling the takeout for Becky, I'm guessing. Yep. See, she's already slightly bent over there, so again, we're anticipating this is just going to be a good shot, and Becky hasn't even released it.
She's confident in the shot here. Hasn't moved, so good sign.
Yeah. Alright, she's getting into more of a crouch. Probably full crouch, a little difficult in the skirt, but Megan's a classy lady, so we respect that. Ooh, a near miss. Alright, this leaves Caroline the opportunity to draw for 3. Not the position Becky wanted to leave her in. Looks like more people are waking up or getting to work here, so that's good.
Getting up there.
More folks tuning into the live stream. Thanks for being with us this morning.
We got up past 40 last night, so
yeah.
Challenge to those of you out there, especially as we get into semifinals and finals and important tiebreakers in the women's draw as well.
Right.
Come out and join us.
You know your friends and cube mates, they're just hanging out. Have them log in with us.
I'm sure the teams will appreciate it as well as you join them on their road to Fargo, as we put it.
Oh, Ryan, now you're anticipating that Corey and I have read the rules.
That was days ago, Brad,
yeah.
so I'm sorry if I'm misinterpreting them now.
The good news is Corey and I both can and do read. Myself probably on a more regular basis, no offense, Corey. But I haven't actually read the rules for the weekend. They didn't tell me I had to do that. They just told me to get in here and be funny. So far, still working on coming through for that.
No.
So, Brian, if you're reading the rules, I'm going to say you're right. Yeah.
So that end is finished up on sheet C in the Naso Nowlan game. So we're going to head up to D. It looks like they're just getting underway in the third end. So they're helping us out on the sheet. Every time we try to move, it's the very beginning of the end. So
this is perfect.
Thank you, guys.
And, Brian, rather than just tolerating my smart aleckness, if that's a word, you can also check bondspieler.com. We'll be updating the pools and everything there, so I'm sure the smart people that are in charge this weekend, that unwisely put us in here, they'll be taking care of that to make sure that everybody gets up-to-date information. And if the people in the warm room actually paid attention to us, they'd probably be rushing in here with the accurate information, but alas, they're sick of us.
Yes.
Can we blame them, Corey?
I don't know. I never get sick of me, so I guess it doesn't make sense to me that others would.
Yeah. Looks like from what I can see there on the scoreboard, Smith up by a sizable lead. Looks like they're at 8 points in the second end.
Confirm that. We'll get you all the scores from all the sheets in just a second.
So Corey's going to take a minute here and run out to the warm room. Luckily it's not too far away, but we're going to get all the sheet scores from all the ends that we have up there already. We'll be updating bondspieler.com with those. Yep, Brian, we're working on getting Bondspieler updated. Sorry about that. We apparently don't have a score runner yet this morning, so we're working on that. Corey's headed out now. Couple big ends on sheet D. It looks like Team Smith had 4 in the first end and then stole another 4 in the second end. Just to confirm what you're seeing there on the scoreboard, my screen's a bit clearer. In the third end now here. So playing for Team Smith this weekend out of the Orange County Curling Club, we've got Kathleen Wilson, Evgenia Lurie, Nicole Donosky, and Stephanie Smith. I realize I'm probably mangling several of those names. I do apologize. Feel free to clarify for me. On Team Garfinkel, we have, I list everybody because I think everyone on the team is important, including and especially the alternates. That's a tough job. So we've got Erin Rohde, Erin McEnroe, Katie Mordarski, Brianna Weldon, and Kate Garfinkel. So welcome to the ladies' teams. Corey's back with the scores, so we'll be getting those updated here on the screen first, so you have those, and then we'll be updating bondspieler.com as well. Take what? Oh, I need it here. I need it here. Just as long as we're brought the scores, we can update Bondspieler. Okay. Nope. No score sheet handy just yet, so whatever you design, we'll love. All right. So Corey, what scores did you find so far?
So we were able to get the scores for each of the sheets. Again, only 3 sheets in play this morning. Everybody's in the third end now. The Smith-Garfinkel game, as we're watching now, and you see that score update on your screen. Team Smith was able to score 4 in each of the first 2 ends and does lead 8-0 here early on. You saw Carol Ann complete the draw for 3, so she leads 3-1 over Team Nowlan in the third end on sheet C. And sheet A, Patrick is up 3-0 as we go to continue in the third end. So on this sheet we talked about the ladies' draw and the standings, and if this result holds, a quick early lead for Team Smith, their team will be through, would complete an undefeated round robin for Stephanie Smith at 4-0, leaving Team Garfinkel at 2-2, which would mean that a win from Nowlan would create a 3-way tie, and a win from Team Caroline Naso would lead them on to Fargo as well, as they would sit at 3-1. So this result will make that game a pretty intense run to the finish.
All right, so bondspieler.com is updated. Thank you for your patience with us this morning. We've elected a lovely score runner, so hopefully we can have continued commentary with both Corey and myself. And then folks will be bringing us those scores. And if not, you know what? We'll send the enforcer back out there. Give him a what for.
Yeah, she certainly didn't mean me as a score runner. Far lovelier than I.
I would call Laura Tate lovely.
Indeed.
Yeah. Not saying that you're not lovely. I've enjoyed our 3 days locked in solitude together.
Certainly not the word I would use.
Enjoyable.
But I'll take it. Oh, any of them are fine.
Kind, nice. How would you describe yourself, Corey, for the folks at home?
I'm not sure. I think I'd probably be wrong. So I think your assessment is probably more accurate.
You seem like a decent fella. How about that?
I appreciate that.
All right. I'd still take the Waddingtons in a bar fight over you any day.
Yeah, you don't want me in any
Totally.
kind of fight, promise.
I mean, if I got to pick like 3 people, it'd be Bob, Bill, and you.
I think you want me. far more intimidating looking than I am.
That's what I'm saying.
It's one of those. I don't know if those of you out there who've ever seen Eddie Murphy Raw. I know he does a bit about trying to act crazy to prevent the fight, and
Totally.
sometimes trying to act tough to prevent the fight because I'm larger than most people.
Right.
But if the fight actually broke out, I'm out. I'm taking off.
Ooh, nice hit there from Team Garfinkel. See, sorry, from Team Smith. See, Corey, I would rather avoid the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, physical intimidation, very important in avoiding the fight. Standing less than 5'5", not exactly physically intimidating. I can definitely, like you said, work the crazy angle when needed, and I'm a scrapper if it goes to blows, but I'd rather just avoid fighting. Can't we all just get along?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason for it.
Nah. Okay, so even Brian's chiming in. He's saying Bob first, then Bill, then a distant Corey in a bar fight. Brian, you can't see Corey. Again, the physical
Brian,
intimidation factor is there.
It's far more distant than you
Yeah.
realize. I would agree with your assessment. You certainly don't want me involved. But if you're looking to avoid it, as Kids mentioned, if you don't know me, I could scare some people.
Yeah. I mean, when they said you're going to be locked in there alone with Corey, I thought I was a little intimidated, I'll be honest. But then getting to know you, gentle giant.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So we're getting a call to see if we could get Team Huntress on that top camera there.
Yeah, sure.
Is that doable? All right. So we're going to change just that top camera. We're going to keep the bottom two screens on the Smith Garfinkel houses so that we can keep watching that game. Again, lots of possible ties coming, so we know these are really important games for the ladies' draws. Okay, so it looks like Dad Waddington would take all three of you. And I think that means, like, whoop some tush.
Yeah, I have no doubt. That was, so my dad used to always say that age and treachery will always win over youth and skill.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to the Waddingtons once they found out about the rumor of their, well, I shouldn't say the rumor, the alleged bar fight that happened down on Mill Avenue at Rulabula. I guess they got a call from Dad and said, "What's this shenanigans about you fellas starting a bar fight?" So luckily we let him know, "Hey, Dad, you should see the other guys."
Yeah.
Because the Waddingtons, not a scratch on them. Still able to curl, looking good. You know, I'd say they handled those fellas handily. I heard there were 8 bikers.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive work.
When Ryan was in that situation, nearly shanked. The Waddingtons walk out, not a scratch on them. All right, so Garfinkel's sitting 1 here. Looks like they do have the hammer in this end, of course. So looking to get on the scoreboard here and start whittling away at that 8-point lead that Smith has jumped out with.
I certainly want to get as many of the rocks that you have left in there, and the one yellow one just outside the rings. Maybe we could get that one in there, but it's like left the house to try to get an extra broom on it, I would imagine. So maybe a little light. Yep, you see that does.
It's a good guard.
Well short of the house, decent guard.
We've talked that throwing a guard on this ice is a bit tricky. The ice is very fast for those of you that haven't yet come out to play with us here at the Coyote Curling Club. Please do so soon. We'll give you a rundown of some upcoming events shortly. So throwing a guard takes a bit. Corey, you play front end. How does it work for you?
It's a little tricky. I know because the ice is so fast. Going this way is a little bit easier, as we've mentioned. Going towards the wall versus towards the warm room moves a little bit more slowly.
Now, towards the warm room, they go quicker because the rocks want to get to the bar.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so I know in the first end of every game, when I'm playing lead, I generally hog the first rock and then throw the second one through. So it's pretty touch and go.
It's a good average.
Yeah. Skip
So
really
guard
loves it when I
needs
start
someone
that way. They're pretty pumped. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, they get to see the ice and know for the third end what to expect. Yeah. I know a lot of times.
I let them know early on, too. I'm like, hey, if we haven't played together, I'm going to miss shots, like most of them, so prepare yourself for that.
Well, if you make 50% of your shots each end, you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just got to get you up to that 50%. That'll be good.
So a lot of conversation on sheet A in the house and between each team.
And everybody's walking away.
What they're talking about, everybody's going down to the other end of the ice. So I don't know if we're looking for a ruling of some type on something that occurred.
I don't know. Maybe they're just cold and they want to come in and warm up? Is that allowed? There's no third end stretch in this event, so be nice to have mics on those fellas so we knew what was happening. Anywho, back to the Smith-Garfinkel game.
We'll let you know what's going on there just as soon as we can, but since there's nothing going on in the house there.
And nobody talks to us.
Yeah, we'll put you on a different sheet for now. Get you back to sheet D camera for the conclusion of this end, and then maybe move back over to sheet C and see how those Coyote teams are going.
So it's early morning out there, and there's not a lot of teams out there. I imagine it's getting pretty chilly on the ice this morning. For now, it's comfortable in here, so I'm not jealous just yet.
Everybody's still wearing jackets out there on the ice, so I know as it warms up outside and as people fill up at maybe a couple degrees up on the ice, and of course after a bunch of sweeping.
Do you wear a jacket on the ice, Corey?
I don't. I used to, but it just it gets unpleasant pretty fast. So.
Okay, fair enough. Uh-oh, Sarah's telling me I screwed up the score on this game. Right. Okay. Let me just go back. Smith. Update. Ta-da! Okay. Whew. I got it. Sarah, I'm figuring this stuff out pretty good, huh?
Thank you for
Not
that,
really.
Sarah. Certainly, if someone was looking at Bonspieler, they'd be. It's a different story than we had there. Than a 4-4 tie, that's for sure.
You know, I'm thinking. I don't know if they're broomstacking already. I'm wondering if they are. We didn't see the final score or what was in the house over there. So, woo. Okay, cameras are spinning. We'll see if we can get word on that.
I was just trying to find the hack to which they're throwing on sheet C. As they're in skipstones now, we'll put the top camera on that and the start of that fourth end on sheet D. We'll get you the score from that one just as soon as we can.
Oh, looks like Garfinkel took 3 in the third end over there. So let me go ahead and update Bonspieler.com because we've got that one. 3 Garfinkel update. Ta-da!
So over here on sheet C, that was apparently the last rock thrown from Team Nowlan. It looked like there was a red one, maybe just on the 4-foot. We'll see. Stay there just while they put up the score, and then turn you around so we can catch an end on that sheet. So red one going into the hack, and it looks like a 2 for Team Naso.
All right. Nope, 2, not 3. 2. Naso. Update. Fresh. I am a genius.
See that? You said you shouldn't be anywhere near computers.
I shouldn't be anywhere near computers. That's the truth. It's also a matter of, Corey and I found the more you know how to do around here, the more they expect you to do. I learned that, a long, long time ago, unfortunately, through the construction phase and several other things. But So if you tell people you don't know how to do stuff, oftentimes they believe you, at least if you're me, because they know that, well, never mind. But, oh, you just keep working the cameras, because I don't want to have to do that, too. Oh, I wasn't saying... Oh, yeah, we are on the wrong camera. Sorry, that wasn't me calling you out.
It was a subconscious reminder.
Just kind of happened.
Yeah. So, a really nice end there. We mentioned that Team Garfinkel picked up 3, and that's an important end for them, I think, to get them back into this game. Still not an ideal deficit, of course, but nowhere near the end of the game yet. So.
Coming back strong,
Yeah.
too.
We'll see if Team Nowlan can put together something similar. I know they would like a big end here as well.
With the Smart Garfinkel matchup, you know a lot of folks are getting up early there in California tuning in, so thanks for that. We know it's early there. I'm guessing by the sparse warm room this morning, a lot of the Arizona folks had to work, so they're tuning in as well.
Saw that actually we talk on each broadcast about the ice crew, and there really aren't enough good things to say about what they've done. But,
Oh my gosh.
Special shout out this morning to Tom Morelli. I saw him in a button-down shirt as he was going out to mop the ice after practice. And I said, he's off to work, but he was here at 5 o'clock this morning to help the ice crew and make sure that we were ready to go for play today. And hopefully we'll see him again later today for,
That's awesome.
for finals.
We definitely have a dedicated ice crew, so yeah, Tom Morelli, Tom Danielson, Laura Tater, head ice tech for the weekend. Bronco Briggs has been helping out, Peter Maxey. I feel like I might have gotten everybody, but if I forgot somebody, it's just because I've been hiding on breaks and I haven't really seen everybody out there. Rebecca, we don't know if the guys are still playing the game. We could
We'll head over there in just a little bit.
peek out the door maybe, I don't know.
Get through this this fourth end over here on sheet D, and we'll go back to A for a little bit. As I know that one is a very important match, and certainly some Coyote interest. So.
Yeah. Both of the women's games determine some ties in the pool, and it's great to have the excitement here for the ladies'
All important
teams.
games on the sheets today, that's for sure. Just
Yeah.
like last night with the Pool B competition. So as we get further on and into these later draws, definitely a lot going on. So we're glad to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent competition. I had to guess on that camera up top. It does look like Caroline is sitting one rock, and well,
Wow.
she's got 2 rocks in the house, but it looks like hers is shot.
Nice double takeout there by Team Smith.
Oh yeah, all right. They may be a little perturbed by the 3-point end.
Yeah.
Trying to get back in command of this game. See the red rock up top slide in, so it now looks like red is sitting 2. And Becky's just going to call for it about the tee line ahead of that rock.
Team Smith answers back with a hit as well. Looks like Smith's still sitting 1. I agree, Brian. That was an awesome double. This has been a really good weekend of excellent curling, really exciting games. The skill level out here in the field has been really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited for MOPAC to represent the region at Club Nationals, both the men's and the women's, in beautiful Fargo, North Dakota.
Yes, I imagine the weather will be even kinder there than it was in Tempe this weekend.
I imagine. And Corey, for the viewers at home, which Dakota is your favorite again?
I said South Dakota.
South
right?
Dakota
Yeah.
being your favorite Dakota, that's right.
It's a really strong preference, as you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
having been to neither one and still honestly questioning their existence. But
Right. I don't know that I have a favorite Dakota. Haven't been to either yet. Not really necessarily on my travel bucket list per
I
se,
wouldn't say so.
but we'll see.
Certainly for these teams out here this weekend, though, the alleged northern version of the Dakotas
Yes.
is on their list.
Yes, definitely on their hit list. All right. Garfinkel with a nice draw there. It's going to sit just on the back of the forefoot. Still visible.
Looks like Smith is calling to run the red one into the yellow one.
Yep.
Well, initially she was. She's moved over. Just going to hit the yellow one.
Hit and roll. Okay, so here's the tip. McBride trains Orange County teams to give up early leads so you can crush your opponent's hopes and dreams a second time in the same game. Which is true. Having played against you guys, Joel, I remember you doing something similar to us at the Fall Fiesta. So, thanks for that.
It's an interesting strategy and very effective, I imagine, if you can pull it off. That would
Right. It always makes for an exciting game, you know.
Yeah.
You gotta root for the underdog. And you always like to be the comeback team, you know.
There's a bit of added excitement for the winning team when you go and come back like that. And as Joel points out, it's particularly devastating when you build a big lead and end up losing anyway.
Right. We've all been in that position, unfortunately. What do you do?
Pretty clean house here on sheet D as we head to skip stones.
Yeah.
Same can't really be said for sheet C. We're not even to last stones yet. Lots of granite in there.
Yeah, lots of rocks in play.
Looks like every rock thrown so far is in play, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Becky would like to see more yellow ones in the house and
Certainly.
fewer red. Ooh, not quite what she was hoping there with Megan's rock, I think. Looks like it's hard with this angle. I'm guessing Carol Ann's still sitting in one, maybe two, maybe? Oh, I'm not going to hazard a guess.
It could be
I
a
can't.
yellow one, but
Let's just say
Carolyn's
go
gonna try to hit it.
Coyotes.
There you go. In this matchup too, we can say that.
Yeah.
I know we've been curling neutral this weekend, or I've been told that I have to portray that. But in this matchup, yeah, definitely go Coyotes, as they both are from the club here.
Yeah, we are just rooting for good curling, that's for sure. So we're getting the scores. Is sheet A done now, or are they still going? Why'd they come off the ice? What's happening out there, Laura?
Oh, yeah, so they had burnt rock, someone picked a rock, and they took a technical timeout to find out the rules.
Ah, okay, so there was a technical timeout on sheet A. There was a burnt rock. So they took a quick timeout to find out the rules during this week's play.
They were determining if the skip had the option to remove the rock, but they had already started playing. So in that circumstance, they were finding out what they needed to pick up that they could
Okay. Crap. How do I undo that one, Corey? No.
Try blanking it first, and then update for 2. Maybe that'll do it. Or then choose a blank. Or remove. There you go.
All right. All right, so live scoring update here. On sheet A, we have Patrick over Huntress 5-0. On sheet C, Naso over Nowlan 5-1, and then Smith up 8-3 over Garfinkel. So to finish the rest of what was happening there with the gentleman on sheet A, again there was the burnt stone. They took a technical timeout to find out the rules for this weekend's play because the next stone had already been thrown, and they were wondering, could the skips make the call? What were the rules there? So sheet A still active. We'll go back over there to them now that we know they're not just hanging out drinking mimosas and whatnot. Corey, do dudes drink mimosas?
I think, I certainly would prefer a mimosa to a Bloody Mary. I think those are your socially acceptable morning drinks.
Right.
There.
Outside of curling clubs.
Yeah, I don't think I'd drink much orange juice or champagne, but you just pour them together, I'd drink it.
Okay. So separately, no bueno, together, nectar of the gods.
Sure.
Okay. What about Bloody Mary? So if you just had the tomato juice and just had the booze and you separated those, still no?
No,
All
I'm
right.
not touching any of those elements.
Okay. What about the bacon, the celery, the olives? Would you go with the garnish?
Celery and the olives, sure. I'm in for
Okay.
that.
No bacon? Wow.
No, not really.
I knew there was something off about you, Corey. Finally found it. It only took 2 days. Not going to hold it against you.
Appreciate that.
So while Smith and Garfinkel clean their sheet off here, maybe we switch over to sheet A since we've been ignoring the boys thinking they were just hanging out, sipping cocktails.
It's an early morning, maybe they just decided we don't want to play yet. But,
Right.
back in action, and Team Huntress looking for a big end here, trying to get back into this one.
All right. So back on sheet A, it looks like Patrick currently with 1, maybe 2. I can't tell if that red one's biting there on the front ring on the house. Looks like Carol's calling for the takeout here. I'm guessing. We're in third stones. Looks like Wayne's in the hack there. Looks like you're getting called out here, Corey, by your lack of love for bacon.
I don't know. Bacon's okay. It's just not.
What would be your favorite pork product, Corey?
I don't know that I have one. I don't eat a lot of it.
Okay. You prefer the real white meat?
I don't eat a lot of meat.
Oh,
Usually.
wow. Okay. All right. Well,
Very
more
nice
jerky
takeout
for me
there
this
for
weekend.
Team Huntress with got the takeout and the roll he wanted, so really nice shot there.
Looks
No,
like
I've always found that this is going to be a weird comparison, so I apologize, but it's early, so just try to stay with me here.
hey, not many people are watching. Go for it.
But, the bacon thing is kind of like, I'm going to anger some more people, so prepare yourself for this. But it's
Okay.
To me, it's kind of like liking the Beatles, and I know that sounds weird,
Okay.
but I feel like bacon seems to be this universal, just wonderful thing that
Right.
everybody loves, and I get that. It's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't love bacon, people just assume you hate bacon
Okay.
and you're a crazy person.
Okay.
Which is fine. Same thing with the Beatles. You hear a Beatles song and you're like, it's alright.
Okay.
But people either love them or believe that you hate them. So it's like, you don't love this song? Why do you hate the Beatles? I'm like, didn't say I hate the Beatles. So I've just, to
You're
make
just-
it easier in those situations, I'm like, yeah, I just don't like it because it's more fun to see the response.
So you're not in love with it. Okay. You like bacon,
It's okay. I'll
but you
eat
don't
it.
love bacon.
Right. I don't go out of my way.
Okay. So if it was on the buffet, you'd probably grab a sausage patty or something.
Sure.
Okay. Instead of the bacon.
Right.
Instead of having both.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't eat both.
Okay.
And if the Beatles were on the radio, I'd probably change the station, to be fair.
Wow. Depending on the song or just in general?
Depending on the song, but there aren't a lot. So.
Would you check the other presets and then maybe go back to the Beatles if there was nothing better, or would you just turn off the radio?
I'd probably surf and come back if
Okay.
necessary, yeah.
All right. This is good. We're really getting to know you today,
So
Corey. This
really,
is good.
I know a strange analogy, but it's just
No, it's a great analogy, in
just
fact.
things I've experienced.
But I can relate to it because I'm one of those people that says, "What do you mean you don't like the Beatles?"
Yeah.
I've actually called people out in my classes that say, "Can you turn it? I don't like the Beatles."
Oh, see, I would never do that.
And I said, "Well, unfortunately for you, this is their number one, so we've got 20 some odd songs
Yeah.
more to go."
You might want to strap in for this. It's going to
Right.
be serious.
It's
yeah.
a long ride. You're going to enjoy it if you just shut up. So, we're not allowed to say shut up. Apparently, that's the S word according to Ryan's daughter Aberdeen. So,
Oh.
hush up, is that acceptable? Right.
So it looks like another red rock going into the hack for on sheet C. So more points for Team Naso. We'll let you know how many and what that looks like in just a little bit. We'll get to the action hack for this end. And we'll be able to see the score update once it goes up there. So no need to go outside.
Looks like Team Patrick with a nice shot in the house there. Behind some coverage, so Wayne and Carol are taking a look at what do they want to do here for Carol's first shot.
Pretty good cover for that shot rock, and I do think he's got a little bite on the outer ring there with the other red one. So you want to get inside the house. It looks like they're going to try to hit that one.
Can't quite see the rest of the scoreboard over there on the Smith Garfinkel sheet, so we'll try to get a update soon. Alright, so looks like Carol shot racks on the guard a little bit, opens things up, probably not enough for him, but Brian and Suga going down to throw the guard, it looks like. So far with Naso Nowlan game, looks like some nice guards up front. Carol Ann looking to draw behind that. Alright. So looks like another guard coming in for Team Naso on the top there. Great sweeping by the ladies. Looks like Brian changed his original call. I'm not sure what's happening over there. I was watching the sweeping and yeah. So much curling, so little time.
As we get so used to managing 4 sheets and cameras, and I know we don't always do the best job out there for you guys, but with only 3 sheets, it's kind of tricky. So. Looks like the last red rock is on its way to the house. Wayne and Carol in the back of the house, of course, chatting over what they're going to do with the last rock. Got to get something in there and try to get some points. It looks like Brian's final rock is an attempt to guard the center line against getting to that rock, and he puts it in a pretty good spot.
Yeah,
It's
great
going to be a
sweeping.
tough rock to hit.
Great sweeping by the front end there. Team effort on that shot. Looks like back on Nowlan Naso. Nowlan's got one in the house here. It's behind some coverage. Carol Ann's crouching. This must mean it's a good thing.
So it does get right past that guard.
Yeah.
Throws back on it, and a really nice shot on that yellow.
Nice roll on that. Well, a little bit of roll. Definitely taking out the yellow there. Becky knows her next shot's going to be the same thing.
So we can see the scoreboard there, and we mentioned that the last end must have ended with red points. It looks like 3 of them. So we'll get that board updated for you. It looks like an 8-1 score here, and they are, of course, in the 5th end as they throw the rocks at the wall.
Should you throw rocks at the bar, Corey? I mean, we throw
Not
rocks at houses in general, but...
Not in the air.
Okay.
They're pretty heavy, and I don't
Yeah.
think many people could throw them very far.
I bet you could.
They'd really hurt.
I bet you could, Corey. I know yesterday you said you don't bench or, really lift, but I bet you could chuck one of those a good distance. Maybe between draws here, we'll,
Go outside and try.
Yeah, let's try that out.
Measure it up.
We'll go to the yard. Tom's not here, so I won't get locked out again. That's a good thing. That was scary and awkward. Shout out to Tom Danielson, my knight in shining armor, for rescuing me from the dark, creepy yard.
So Carol's final shot is light, and as they go to pick up the rocks there, I think it's going to look like 1 red for sure.
One for sure.
Any yellows in the house there? They had. I think
wonder if
probably
that
one biter,
front red one was
maybe.
biting. I don't know. We'll see what the fellas hang there, or if we get a score update here soon.
Well, we'll try to get you over there too on the top camera for that last end. That should give us a look at the scoreboard as well, so we'll have an idea what that score looks like. But for now, we'll keep the overhead camera and sheet A with you.
Should we check in with Smith Garfinkel?
Sure.
Yeah. We haven't been over there in a little bit. More scores coming in. I'm going to try not to mess it up this time, Corey. We'll see how I do. Alright. So it looks like Patrick did get 2. That front one was biting. So that takes him up 7-0. We were right on the Naso Nowlan, so they're at 8-1. We were seeing the scoreboard in the background there. Looks like Smith got 1 here in the 4th end, bringing that score to 9-3. Thanks, lovely Laura Tate, for our scores here. Those are updated on bondspieler.com now. It's great to see the ladies playing again today. I was hoping for some closer games. I hate saying that because everybody's playing real well,
This early, and it's just 1 or 2 shots at end can really turn the whole thing over, and
right. Kind of like yours.
Tough spot. And you're seeing
1 hog went through the house. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
1 or 2 shots. All right.
Sometimes you play with me, you're playing down 2 rocks. So.
Hey, there you go. You can still do a lot with 6.
Yeah, I can do a lot with the brush. Though, so I make up for it.
Bring something to the table.
Yeah. And these ones, it just seems like 1 big end in each, and then the smaller ends are just going the way of the leading teams.
All right.
Or in the Smith game, I know she had 2 big ends to open up. So.
Yeah. So Joel, if you're still watching, last night the folks were chiming in with fun facts. We learned that you're carrying twins. So congratulations. Twin girls, that's exciting. For those of you that this is your first time tuning in, unfortunately when the bios got forwarded and then re-forwarded and then forwarded to me, they were really hard to read. So we decided scrap the bios, mostly out of sheer laziness. We want the fans to fill in the fun facts. We know the bios are full of great information, like I've played in this, I won that, semifinals of such and such, participant ribbon here and there. That's great, but we want to know the interesting bits about your friends, families, loved ones, people you're stalking. We've learned a lot of interesting things this weekend, Corey.
Absolutely, and I don't think we ever would have known about Joel's pregnancy from the bio. So.
No, I mean, he's not even showing.
Yeah.
Or Justin's abs. We learned a lot of good information about his solar-powered abs and how he's a stunt ab double for Adam Levine. Let's see here. We had a couple. Well, we had a famous actor on the ice. We learned about some BattleBot competitors, musicians, winemakers. Lots of great fun facts.
Lots of talented curlers, but not just on the ice.
Right. It's
A little
impressive.
bit of everything.
All these folks are very multifaceted.
So it looks like the Garfinkel team's having a little conversation here, trying to get fired up, trying to put together a big end here. Get another red rock in the hack. So it looked like just one, but as that gets updated, we'll pass that along to you. Already in the sixth end on some of these sheets. Moving right along this morning.
Well, here's a fun fact. Steph plays out of CSD and OC. That's great. So Curl San Diego and OC represented all in one. So it looks like Team Smith throwing the rocks through the house there. Forcing Garfinkel to get some rocks in play. Nice corner. Oh, not quite a corner guard. Looks like that one's going to sit just on the rings there. Smith taking a look and confirming that and saying, let's hit this out of here. Meanwhile, on the top camera there, Becky and Megan eyeing up the angles here. Seeing what they can do. This are in Team Smith. That opens the opportunity for Garfinkel. Hoping to score a big end here to close that 9-3 gap. Okay.
At this point, that's kind of how you get back in. If you want to get a really big end, you get a few missed hits and gives you an opportunity.
So Brian's filling us in with a little bit more. Plays mostly out of Curl San Diego, but since Curl San Diego is moving to a new location in Carlsbad, we know that they just got ice a week or so ago. So Steph was curling out of OC to stay on the ice for the last season and form this team. Looks like they're gelling pretty well out there.
Yes, well on their way to an undefeated round robin here.
That's great. Keep the fun facts coming, folks. Again, just try to keep them PG or cleaner.
At least until the, well, I think our last draw is going to be a 130 draw, so maybe we don't get an opportunity to get...
Not today. Not today. We got a little out of control, perhaps, last night. We pushed some boundaries of decency. Well, I pushed some boundaries of decency, as always.
I think we were all right. But,
been worse, that's for sure.
Try to go and flag that particular one with a YouTube content advisory, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll probably get taken down. Darn the man. looks like Carol Ann's sitting 2 there. Becky's counting third shot. Teresa motioning to the sweepers where she wants that stone to stop there in the front ring. It's going to go a little bit deeper perhaps than planned. Nope. Of course not. Of course not. It's perfect. Oh. Yep, Ryan Burden has a dog. Looks like Steph and Evgenia have been playing together quite a lot, so that's great. Definitely helps the team dynamic when you're forming a new team to have some existing history.
Is good.
Yeah. How's your team gelling there, Corey? You've been playing about a year now.
I wouldn't say I have a consistent team. I'm just kind of doing Coyote leagues and playing with who I get, trying to move around and play a little bit with everybody.
Very nice.
Been fortunate enough to play with a lot of club members.
Great.
Get a lot of great experience.
You learn a lot that way. Yeah.
You look at the Coyote teams on the ice. I think I've had the opportunity to play a few games, either subbing in a league or maybe in a fun bonspiel, or even playing a full league with a number of the Coyote competitors here this weekend.
Subbing's always a great way to get in with folks that you don't normally get to play with on a night maybe you don't normally get to play with, and just have some fun, learn some new things.
Absolutely.
For those of you that ever find yourself in the area, maybe during the week for work, something like that, there's usually, a couple opportunities to sub here during the week, so keep that in mind. Also, we mentioned some bonspiel opportunities coming up. You'll call this a shameless plug, but what you don't know is I don't deal with shame, so it's just a plug. We got the Canada Week bonspiel coming up the weekend of February 14th, I believe. Details on the website. There's also the spring training spiel in March. Desert Ice is full, but there's a waiting list, of course. We'll have more coming up, so be sure to check out coyotescurling.com for details. Oh, there's also the All-American bonspiel coming up at the end of February. Again, details on the website there. So please come join us. We'd love to host you.
So we're going to move the top camera over to sheet A and the hack at which they're throwing right now. That game's still with a 7-0 score. You saw the score go up for Team Naso and Nowlan. That game is now at 10-1 through 5 ends.
Over on sheet D, Smith is now up 10-3 over Garfinkel. We're still waiting for a score from the gents on sheet A. Looks like they're still playing that 5th end. So we'll get Bonspieler and the folks at home updated once we have that. Yep, Joel, so we, as you've heard, we've scrapped the bio, so if you have any fun facts about your team or any of the other teams you've been playing against this weekend, feel free to chime in, gang. We've been learning lots of fun stuff. Nice draw from Garfinkel. Not quite enough to give him shot rock there. Looks... Over on sheet A, looks like Patrick's got 2 in the house there. Carol counting 3rd stone. We'll keep an eye on that one as well. Alright, shots away for Team Garfinkel. places that yellow a little bit closer, so now it's looking like Garfinkel's sitting shot.
Yeah, I think she's got it so far. The big mess in front of that rock. So let me try to hit something and see what happens here. Looking at the angles to see how they think the rocks will move. Try to get some yellow out.
Over on sheet A, it looks like, I'm guessing Carol's drawing there?
Yep, I think a draw is this may be the last rock. I'm sure Carol has the hammer here.
No. Can't see how many rocks are in the back there to count them up. But I can count to 8. That's a fun fact, Corey.
Yeah.
Yep, all the way to 8. Beyond that, it gets a little touch and go. It depends on the day. But thanks to curling,
At least 8.
at least 8. Alright, shots away, looking at those cluster of rocks there. Looks like Carol's draw is going to rack on that guard over there. Oh, I'm bouncing between too many screens. Garfinkel, after that shot, still sitting 1. Team Smith counting 2, 3, 4, and 5. This could be another big end if they can get rid of that yellow stone. But it is Garfinkel's shot now.
So it looks like the yellow's out from behind cover, as you mentioned, and certainly with 2 yellow shots and 1 to go, this could be an interesting finish to this end.
Yeah. This could be a big end for either team, really. An important one for Garfinkel to score in, or potentially another big score for Team Smith.
So Team Patrick just plays a high guard, trying to close up that port. Carol tried to draw before, a little more open for the draw this time. He's going to try it again. This will be the last rock of the end, just trying to get in and score for 1.
Nice shot for Team Garfinkel. Looks like possibly now sitting 1 and 2. Steph going down to take her shot. Her final shot of this end. Garfinkel, of course, having the hammer stone.
We need a wireless keyboard in here, I think.
We need a
that would
wireless
be
keyboard.
helpful.
We need wireless headsets. Maybe then we could like cruise out to the warm room and stuff. I don't know. But if you're gonna tear the
Just
place
need
down,
to-
Corey, let's wait till we're
We
done.
just need to eliminate the wires, because I really can't move without wrecking something.
We definitely are restricted.
Carol gets a hit on a guard there, but the final rock just slides through the button, and I think that leaves red sitting 2.
Yeah. It was the hit and roll I think he was hoping for. It just rolled a bit too far, unfortunately. So that's going to give them 2 over there. We'll update Bondspieler real quick. That was the 5th end. What? How did I do that? Oh, crud. That's how it was set up. I didn't screw that up. That's how it was set up. So So some confusion here on bondspieler.com. We have Patrick listed as yellow. They are currently playing red stones. And here I was excited because they were, you know, Carol was finally matching his stones.
Wearing
and
yellow and throwing yellow stones, and we thought we had that all squared away, but nope. You gotta have some confusion, as it turns out.
But I'm going to point out I didn't load the draws into bondspieler.com, so not my screw up. I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm just not taking the blame.
Look down at sheet D, and unfortunately heavy on the final draw was Garfinkel. It looks like Smith's going to pick up 4, and they are shaking hands. That one's going to be all done.
We're coming, Sarah. We're switching that camera. All right, so yeah, the ladies are looks like Team Smith won there. We'll switch that top camera over there on the Huntress Patrick game. Looks like Nowlan and Naso still playing, so we'll get a view there. Here comes that top screen for you.
So with that game going final, then Stephanie Smith and her team moved to 4-0. So an undefeated round robin, by my count, puts them at the top, and they will be our first team advancing to Fargo.
Huge congratulations to Team Smith. That's great.
Great showing here, great tournament. Kind of ran away with it right from the jump.
Yeah. What's that do for the rest of the pool there?
Well,
thanks, Sarah. You always got me.
That moves the Garfinkel team to 2-2. And as we said earlier,
that's what that does.
Caroline Naso and her team are 2-1 right now. Becky Nowlan and her team are 1-2. So if this were a Nowlan victory, there'd be a 3-way tie for second. If Caroline finishes off where we are now, she will be 3-1 and second in the pool and also advancing.
All right, so we were asking for somebody missed the last shot on sheet D as Team Smith finished up there. Did you grab the final score?
Brian, it was. It looked like it was a draw attempt from Garfinkel with Stephanie sitting 4, and she was just a little heavy into the back 12, and so I think Red picked up 3 or 4, but they shook hands pretty quickly after that. So it would be, I think 11 or 12 is a final score, maybe a little more than that, but a solid win, and certainly a finish to an undefeated round robin.
We should be getting a scoring update soon for that as folks are coming off the ice here. So we'll get that updated as soon as possible. All right, I love seeing all the congratulations coming in for Team Smith. Again, headed to Fargo, North Dakota for the 2015 Women's Club Nationals. Who is going to be the next team, Corey? The women get 2 berths.
Well, if the score holds, it looks like Team Naso will be joining them on the road to Fargo.
Team Huntress trying for the run back takeout there. Unfortunately, a miss. Brian calling for a center line guard there.
So we see on sheet C we have 5 rocks in play, but none in the house. And we are on the, I think this is the last stone of the end. Looks like Team Nowlan's just trying to, I think, draw it and get a point at this point in the game.
Here comes a shot from Becky. It's a nice draw. Very great weight there for Becky. Nice shot. It's always fun seeing the Coyotes playing together.
And it looks like with that, they're going to shake and make that one a final at 10-3.
10-3. Becky just scored one there, so that'd be 10-3.
Yep, I added that one.
What's that?
I think I added that
You
one.
added already? Oh, geez, Lou. All right.
Whatever
Take it back.
Whatever they tell us the final is in that one.
That's what it'll be.
We do
I think
know
I
that-
could bet you $1 it's gonna be 10-2 since Nolan already had one.
We do know that 10-2 or 10-3, that puts Team Naso at 3-1 and firmly in second place in the round robin. And with 2 berths to Fargo, they'll go as well, along with Stephanie Smith and her team. So congratulations.
Oh, it looks like so Smith actually got 4 in that last end. So 14-3 over Garfinkel for the final on that one. Still 9-0 Patrick over Huntress with the last game to play here this morning for the 7:30 a.m. draw. Got several matchups coming at 10:30. Do we know who's playing, Corey?
At 10:30 we have, and I don't know the seeding yet, but we know that we will have Team Markowski out of Pool A, I believe. Team Gallagher was the winner of Pool D, I think.
Yes.
And the Pool B winner will be determined at the conclusion of this game we're watching. And Pool C was another 5-1 team out here.
It was fun to
Pool
hear.
C was Team Smoltz.
Team Smoltz.
Right?
Hopefully Jim's feeling better this morning.
They clinched.
Yeah.
Before the last draw, before their last draw last night, they clinched. And yeah, we do hope that Jim's feeling better and ready to go out on the ice at 10:30 tonight. Or today. 10:30 tonight. It'd be, whoa.
Oh, I won't be here. You can stay. It was fun hearing the cheers and accolades for Team Naso as they come off the ice. Again, the second seed to Club Nationals for the ladies here out of the MOPAC region.
Very exciting to have a representative from the Coyotes Club here in Tempe headed that way. So.
Very fun. And Carol Ann, no stranger to the national scene, so it's great that she's taken a team, especially a team with some newer curlers there, so that's always great. Alright, looks like Huntress sitting 2 currently. There's a little bit of cover from that high red guard there. I don't know that he's going to make up that 9-point deficit here, Corey.
No, it's certainly going to be tough with just this end and potentially 2 to play. But if you could get 3 or 4 here.
But we mentioned my ability to only count to 8.
Well,
So
I'll help you.
9. Thank you, Corey. You've been here for me for the last few days, and I appreciate your support. It takes a village.
Certainly, with as important as this matchup is, tough deficit to overcome for sure, but we'll give it a try. It does look like that one a little heavier than they wanted, but it stops for shot 3, I would think.
Yeah. So Huntress is in the house with 3. Brian and Sugar Bear headed down the ice for his shot, his first shot of this end.
You know, really, I know earlier they were wearing the cat shirts and they didn't like them. I think they had dropped a game or 2 in the cat shirts, and ever since
Squeaker's the
he's
cat.
ever since he put on the Sugar Bear shirt, the juggernaut.
Yeah. Sugar Bear, by the way, named by the folks at home in the live stream.
Yeah.
So if you're chatting along, big things can happen. You have the power for change.
I know this. I will search the entire internet. I'm finding a shirt like that.
It's a great
Apparently
shirt.
You just don't lose at curling when you wear that shirt.
You don't.
Yeah.
I don't think you lose at life when you wear that shirt.
Oh, certainly not.
I don't think Brian's taken that shirt off since their first win in that shirt.
He probably shouldn't at all. I know
No.
he's,
Still fresh as a
he's
daisy.
eyeing a semifinal opportunity here in just a little while. So
Yeah.
I know I'd keep wearing it.
I wouldn't take it off. Lucky for you, Corey, as we've been sitting in this hot room for about 3.5 days now, I have been changing my shirts. Well,
Appreciate that. I've done the same, so
I appreciate that as well.
it does get a little steamy in here. It's pretty comfortable this morning.
Not bad.
Actually, yeah.
Not bad.
We'll see how that progresses.
Yeah,
As I said before, don't worry, we'll keep you all posted.
right. I know that
Our comfort is your top concern.
it's definitely mine. Becky last night turned down the air conditioning in the entire curling club to help us out, since no air actually gets pumped in here. It's a dead room, if you will. All the air that was coming in here was rerouted because apparently this room got too cold, so they just cut off all air conditioning, which was a wise choice to some, apparently. So I feel bad if anybody got cold out there last night, but again, our comfort is paramount in the booth.
Yes.
As you can
So I
tell
think
by
she
my...
came in last night and said it was cold in here, and I understand now why maybe they rerouted the air conditioning, because I think
I'm guessing perhaps
Becky may
her
spend more
blood
time
may
in
have
here
been
than
thin.
anyone else, so
Indeed. So
perhaps
Becky does
she,
run the pro shop.
yeah, she thought that it was cold in here. I don't think she was correct, at least not by the way I was feeling, but
Corey and I took a vote, and Becky was wrong. In fact,
well,
I believe we let her know that quite kindly.
so brushing hard on that yellow rock. We're trying to get it in. I think yellow's still sitting 3. And,
Still sitting 3.
a couple of rocks left to play, one for red, and of course Carol still has the hammer.
So Brian and Sugar Bear in the hack.
You get a peek at the warm room there. You saw Marty Book was standing behind the couch taking a look at the game. He just kind of walked off camera there, but he wanted me to wish everyone a happy Martin Luther King Day.
Happy Martin Luther
Important
King Day.
in our history, fairly recent American history, which is both interesting and unfortunate given the circumstances, but definitely a happy MLK Day to all of you.
For those of you that aren't headed home just yet, or maybe your flight doesn't leave for a bit and you're hanging out, news to Corey, there is an MLK parade happening in Mesa, Arizona, which isn't too far from the curling club, about 20 minutes away. And there's a fair and a festival and all that going on as well. We're going to miss the parade this year, Corey. We'll be commentating
Yeah.
the 10:30 game. Parade starts at 11:30, so
A little sad about that, but
it would have been cool to see.
important semifinal matchups at 10:30. So if you're out watching the parade, watch us on your phone.
Yeah.
Turn it up really loudly so that everyone can hear it and they are disturbed
And they get curious about curling.
by our voices.
Yeah,
And then bring them on down to the club afterwards for the final.
right. I have some friends that would be walking today in the parade. I would say hi to them, but they're probably not watching curling this morning. It's so weird to me.
Have the opportunity to watch live curling and you don't. What are you doing with your life?
I don't know. People
Right?
make weird choices. So Carol looking for the draw here. We've seen over the last few days, once you get outside here, you hit that fresh pebble. So we'll see, does Carol compensate enough, not enough, too much? He's got to get the big end here and touch the 8-foot for 4. Help close that gap, so then he only needs to come back for a deficit of 5. Unfortunately, it's not going to curl as much as they hoped, and it's got a little
It's
too
gonna
much
be
hot sauce
heavy,
on it
yeah.
this morning. Yeah,
Going out, but I think
that's 3 yellow.
good for 3 yellows. So on the board and a couple more 3-unders to wrap it up, and could be in it.
So score now on sheet A, 9-3, Patrick over Huntress. Heading into the 7th end.
It's a good game, so I think maybe
Huntress calling for the center line guard. Thank you, lovely Laura, for confirming the score for us. Hope you're staying warm out there.
It's pretty cold out there.
Oh, so forgot to tell you, Laura, last night Becky turned down the air conditioning to try to cool down the booth that doesn't get air conditioning. So if it is cold out there for the folks, you might want to raise the temp on the old AC. Sorry about that. Corey's in my comfort again, paramount over everyone else. But we'll make sacrifices.
It's very important that we're comfortable because I think if we're not, I get the impression we're the loudest about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think people have heard us complaining. I feel bad that we're complaining, Corey. It's not a hard job. It's just a tiring one. People have been feeding, me drinks. It's been passing a few of those over to you since I found out nobody was feeding me drinks. I felt bad.
I did all right.
Weiner, you're right. I do believe there was a 6-ender last night. I've watched a lot of games and a lot of teams, so I can't remember.
We did have a 6-ender last night. I think it was Team Mendoza.
There you go.
Opened the Mendoza McBride match with a 6-ender.
There it is.
So it can be done, and I'm sure Carroll has scored a 6-ender of his own in the past. So.
I'm going to throw out a challenge here. I don't think I shouldn't say I don't think. We have not yet had an 8-ender here at the New Coyotes Curling Club that I'm aware of. I've seen a couple 7s, but no 8s. This could be the day.
Could be a good time for him.
Yeah. No time like the present, in fact,
right.
For Carroll. I'm sure, Brian's hoping that doesn't happen.
He'd be a big fan of that.
He's probably going to do his part to prevent that, perhaps. But we'll see what happens.
So 3 rocks in, and we have a high yellow guard, and 1 yellow in the 8-foot, but a red rock on the back of the 4-foot there, right under Brian's feet, is the shot rock. Behind Brian's feet, if you were standing on the rock, that'd be really unsafe and pretty illegal. So.
Yeah, I think there are rules against that. I've never stood on the rock. Have you tried that yet, Corey?
I don't think the balance would work, and I would be worried I'd break the handle. So,
okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Well, I'm open to trying it. I figure my feet are small enough they could fit on either side of the handle, so maybe on the next break we go give that a go.
Sure.
I mean, you're going to have to push me slowly so that I don't fall.
Now, an unfortunate outcome there for red, trying to hit the yellow one and got their own. Both the shooter and the red rock in the house left the house.
Mm-hmm. I have seen small children sit on the rock and be pushed.
Yeah.
I would say we could try that. I am flexible, however, not quite that limber. So let's not do that.
I think it's a more impressive feat of balance too if you put each foot on a separate rock.
Like rock surfing.
That way. Yeah, kind of almost rock skating. Just to strap your feet to them so as not to really injure yourself badly.
So if we use 2 rocks instead of 1, Corey, I think I know what we're doing on break. Or I could be getting locked out of the back door again. I don't know.
Maybe both. I mean,
maybe both.
Why not?
I think, this time it'll be different. I won't have a cold beverage with me, so I won't be worried about climbing the fence and spilling a drink. So if I get locked out, not the worst thing.
So the red team decides, Patrick there decides to peel that high yellow guard, and so the possibility of the 8-ender is out, as that yellow rock will leave play.
Still a chance for 6?
Yeah, well,
7 perhaps?
2 yellows in the house, still a mathematical chance for 7.
I can only count 8, Corey, so you gotta help here. Draw's coming into the house here. You see the sweepers bringing it in nicely. Little nudge on that shot rock there, so just a tiny bit of separation. Brian's liking the takeout here as he puts his broom down.
just wanting to get as many of those yellow rocks out of play as possible.
Ooh,
If
he's
there is
in a
any
crouch.
damage, limit the damage.
But he's in the crouch, so he must like this. It's coming back nicely, and he's gonna get one. He's gonna roll in there for a second shot. It's definitely a nice position to be in. For Carroll to get him out, he's gonna have to play some fun angles there.
Yeah, definitely a difficult shot to get out without removing the yellow shot rock, and you don't want to disturb that one.
Nope, Carroll needs as many rocks in the house as possible right now. Again, trying to come back from that 9-3 deficit.
So he just wants to peel that guard to give him some more options.
I think Carroll sees it if he runs that his yellow back on a nose hit. He could. Well, ooh, wow. Okay.
So gets the guard, but also gets his yellow rock in the house, the third shot rock, and now 3 yellow rocks out of play, and one is really high, well short of the house.
Still a chance for 6, Corey.
Yeah.
Oh, 5. Again, that's why you're here. You do the math. You do the pool standing stuff. Not really sure what I do around here right now.
Very important role that you play.
I keep you company.
Indeed.
Alright. So, a great shot by Team
Yes.
Patrick there. I don't know if that was intentional or called, but still amazing.
Very good outcome indeed.
Doubled out.
So
Couple
no more
stones.
yellow rocks in play. Actually, the first 5 yellows are out. The only rocks in play now, the red rock replaces the high guard and one in the house. So don't know if they drew it up as you mentioned, but definitely worked.
We'll say they called it.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, maybe Brian didn't call it, but Shug saw the shot.
Yeah,
Saw the
he
shot
saw
there.
the possibility.
Totally.
He's got the glasses.
I know.
As we know.
Laser clear vision with those glasses. For those of you at home that have no idea what Corey and I are talking about, number 1, that's typical. Number 2, we're
Don't be
talking
alarmed.
about
It's not you. It's us.
right, as always. But Brian's got Sugar the Bear on his shirt this morning. You can't see his shirt, of course, because he's wearing a jacket, but trust us, we're pretty sure he hasn't taken the shirt off since the team's first win, so still smelling fresh as a daisy,
I would imagine.
but not breaking the team juju. Very important as it seems that most of us curlers are a bit superstitious.
That's definitely a sports thing for
Yeah.
sure.
I do like to change my socks regardless of wins and losses, just for the fact that, if they get a little sweaty, you want to go into the next game with dry socks.
I think that's just good hygiene. That's probably, yeah.
I'm not saying I don't
socks,
rewear them, Corey.
Lucky socks are risky.
Yeah, you get some scratchy itchiness in
Yeah.
the toes. Can't say I've ever had that, but it's a good thing to avoid.
I mean, your worst case scenario with a lucky shirt is you just stink for a game or 2.
Right.
But,
So, Corey, tip when you head to the OC for your first out-of-town bond spiel at the Surf City Spiel, bring several pairs of socks. You're going to play lots of games.
I'll bring all the socks.
Yep.
I should be well prepared.
Yeah. I'll give you some tips, some lowdown. Had a great time there last year. Spent some time on the beach. Maybe I'll see you there this year, perhaps.
You should definitely come with us. I think
Could be happening. I know my team from last year was thinking that was a darn good time. We could go and have some fun again, so we'll see. It doesn't take much to twist my arm to get me near a beach.
I've learned that. That definitely, yeah. I don't.
California Spiel is pretty appealing.
Being stuck in the landlocked Arizona, I know we can find just about anything in this great and enormous state, but not a lot of natural water, and
No.
certainly nowhere near an ocean. So.
No. Sarah, good point. Brian probably not sweating. Not even from the nerves. Seems like he's keeping his cool out there right now. Looks a little cold in his jacket, in fact. So, Corey, last night you confirmed for us that you're more of a trunks versus Speedo type of fella, but yet you don't like the sun either way.
Right.
That's an important fun fact for the folks at home this
Yeah,
morning.
the trunk Speedo question is Americans wear trunks, I think, generally, because you should. And
Why should you?
Speedos are gross.
Slightly unattractive.
There's a very, very, very small number of men in this world that can pull off the Speedo, and even those who can probably shouldn't.
Stop saying pull off the Speedo.
Well, that's poor choice of words, perhaps, especially this early in the morning. But
The kids could be watching, Corey. It's a family show.
well, they wouldn't have even understood until you pointed out the
It's
double
true.
entendre there.
It's true. Do you think Sugar the Bear is a trunks or a Speedo kind of fella?
I would say he's probably a Speedo guy.
I was gonna go
'Cause
trunks.
he's I don't think he realizes he shouldn't. He just is so very boss that he thinks he can do what
Yeah.
he wants all the time, and he's probably right for the most part. But shouldn't
Yeah.
wear a Speedo.
Well, but I'm thinking maybe because it's all about confidence, right? So I'm thinking maybe with Suge's confidence, he's just, rocking the Speedo,
Yeah.
and nobody can say anything. I mean, you've seen him. He's cool,
Yeah,
but
there's-
intimidating, but cool.
What are you gonna do? I
You
mean,
don't mess with Suge
Are
the
you gonna
Bear.
tell him he's doing something wrong? I'm not gonna tell him he's doing something wrong.
I'm not the one to tell him that. Again, I would need like you and the Waddingtons with me to pull that off. And probably Team Smith, the ex-Royal Canadian Navy SEALs.
Yeah, that would certainly help.
Right,
They
like-
are,
The 8 of us, or I can't even count. Yeah, the 8 of us roll in there. We're like, sup, Suge. Switch to the trunks. Word.
what do we
It's
do
not
if he says
happening.
no? Because I'm still probably just gonna look
That's
at him and be
why I
like,
brought you the Waddingtons and
Okay.
the SEAls. Like,
I think if he
that's-
just says no, I'm not doing it, I'd probably be like, all right, well, we asked.
right. That's true. That's true. We'd probably just walk away. Like, all right, well, we tried. We did our part for humanity.
Probably did say nice work at the playdowns, and you keep wearing what you want to wear. But,
Right. I'm saying he's got to take that shirt to playdowns. Do you think Squeakers is going to make the trip?
You know, if they get through to Fargo, I think they may abandon the cat shirts. I think
But
they
again,
may
what
be
if...
out, but I don't think he will allow his team to forget their own Sugar the Bear shirts.
Right.
I know he mentioned that they all
Nice
had one,
job
and
there.
he was the only one who brought it, I think he said.
But again, you need a couple outfits, because again, if you're not winning in one, you got to change up the juju for the team and go to another
As
one.
evidenced by this,
So what if
this impressive
Squeakers-
run.
What if Squeakers was like, nah, I need a
I
nap
think-
here?
I
but then
get the
comes live for
impression he
nationals.
could have been disqualified, given the early struggles here
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah, true. Maybe it had like a Medusa effect on his own team. So behind Squeakers was that very psychedelic magic eye.
I know you weren't a
number.
big fan of that.
I wasn't. I do suffer from vertiginous migraines, and boom, I was
Yeah.
there. So yeah, I had to look away,
Mm-hmm.
which is awkward when you're having a conversation with. I mean, you shouldn't be looking at somebody's chest when you're having a conversation
Right.
anyway. But the psychedelic aspect was mesmerizing. You were entranced, if you will. And I was totally looking at Squeaker's eyes.
Oh yeah. Well, plus there was a cat on his shirt. That's,
Right. It was almost like the internet.
Right.
What's the purpose of the internet again, Corey?
Cat videos and pictures and dog videos. Pictures. I mean, I don't know what else you would do with it.
Puppies, kitties, and curling.
Yeah. Curling certainly.
Anything else? Inappropriate. Yeah. Again, what more do you need besides puppies, kitties, and curling?
Agreed.
All right.
So it is going to be a steal yellow here. Team Huntress will pick up another point, but it looks like just one.
Okay.
So we'll probably hope for a better result. And we'll be coming back 8th end down 5 without the last rock. So it's going to take a big end here, but we'll see how that goes.
Carroll calling for the center line guard. Not breaking strategy at all. Jeff Baird in the hack, ready to throw. Again, plenty of time on the clock, even though we're drawing to the 2-hour mark here. If you tuned in a bit late, there was a technical timeout due to the fact that there was some question about rules of play on a burnstone issue thing after a shot had been thrown at this level of competition. We will still be playing the semifinals at 10:30. The men's semifinal 1 and 2. The women are done now, unfortunately. Fortunately, I should say. We've got our two teams that will be headed to Fargo, which are Team Naso and Team Smith. Team Smith going undefeated in the round robin. So the semifinal will be at 10:30, the men's final at 1:30. We will not be sticking around for the 4:30 draw as it is no longer needed. Yeah, Corey and I disappointed. What are you going to do with your extra time today, Corey?
I don't know. Probably just go to sleep.
Yeah, that sounds good. I haven't
don't
gotten
see
much of
another
that the last few
alternative, yeah.
days.
So I have a big update for you.
The one. Oh,
Yeah, the women are playing again because the rule book, we just had a big discussion about those. So they have, someone has to have 2 losses before they're eliminated. So because neither team has 2 losses, then they play again. So they're going to be playing again next round.
who?
Naso and Smith.
Okay.
And then Smith hasn't had any losses, so if Naso were to win the next one, then they would play again in the finals.
Okay, so I take it all back. We checked the rule books, and it looks like the women will be playing again because according to the rule books, a team can't be eliminated until they have 2 losses. So coming up at 10:30, there will be a game between Smith and Naso. If Smith were to lose, there will be another game at 1:30 for the women for the champion. Would that also be between Smith and Naso? Okay, so they would potentially play each other twice. Everyone else has been eliminated, but this is basically then to determine the first and second berth, so who the official champion is. Ah, great to know. We spoke too soon, Corey.
All right.
That doesn't happen all weekend.
And then one
Yeah, so more women's curling to come, potentially 2 games,
Yes.
depending on the outcome of the 10:30 draw between Smith and Naso. So at 10:30, we will have 2 men's semifinal games. Don't know who's playing in that, to be honest. Haven't checked the board. We'll make sure to chime in with that as soon as we know. You can also check the pool standings out on bonspieler.com. At the top there's a handy-dandy link, cleverly labeled pools, that you can click and find out who will be playing in the men's semifinals based on the pool standings. So again, 2 men's semifinals at 10:30, and then the Smith-Naso game also at 10:30. So 3 games going there. The men's final will be playing today at 1:30, and also the women's tiebreaker if needed if Naso and Smith have to play a second time again should Smith lose.
Right.
But we will not be here for a 4:30 game.
Clear as mud, right?
Right.
All of that. So
Which means the ice crew
did-
will have plenty of time to get the ice ready for practice tonight.
I'm sure you guys had a similar question to mine. As we mentioned before, there are 2 berths in the women's nationals for MOPAC here, and Laura confirmed for me that yes, both teams are advancing, but we need to determine a winner.
A champion.
A champion for the banner and other purposes, and no one can be eliminated without 2 losses, as Cassie mentioned. So we have to get someone to 2 losses before we can declare a champion, and then both teams will move on to Fargo, though, as we mentioned before.
So with Team Naso having 1 loss under their belt, if Smith were to win the next game, we'll have the champion determined. If Smith were to lose, again, they'll be playing back to back against each other again.
Could be 3 consecutive games for the ladies, so it'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
I'm guessing some folks are resting
A
up,
long day of
stretching,
curling.
napping.
Yeah.
Have you ever played 3 in a row, Corey?
I don't think so.
Would you want to?
Well, I'd do it.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't feel really good about it afterward,
No.
but I wouldn't hesitate for a moment.
Do you think you would complain more about being tired and sore playing 3 games in a row or sitting in this booth with me for 15 hours?
Well, maybe here it's a little easier to complain here. It has nothing to do with you, although I like how you threw that in at the end. But,
I appreciate that.
No time to complain on the ice, but I don't think I'd want to be
It's
around
true.
myself afterward.
No. Do you think that your shirt would smell afterwards, unlike
oh
Sugar
yeah,
the Bear?
yeah. Well, if it were the Sugar Bear shirt, I probably could avoid that because that shirt's more powerful than most things.
True.
But yeah, it would be.
I also feel like if that shirt smelled, it'd still be a rockin' shirt.
Yeah.
So it would almost justify it. Like, heck yeah, it smells and I'm not taking it
Yeah.
off because, boom, Sugar the Bear. Or I think that Sugar would just come off there and slap you across the face with his paw. Probably an open paw slap.
I just
But,
hope the claws are retracted. That could really, really devastate a face.
I'd say it depends on Sugar's mood.
Yeah.
So Huntress sitting 3 currently, make that now
2.
2. I can't tell if they're 1 and 2. It's close with those 2 on the outside of the 12-foot there.
I think Carol may try to take that out of the question. Nope, he's gonna.
Carol numerically could still potentially tie here, so we're going to
They've
keep
got,
throwing stones.
3 yellow stones to throw and 2 in play. So, by my math, the next yellow stone that goes out of play will wrap this up.
Mhm. This has been an exciting match for the fellows this morning. As I came in, I noticed it looked like they all got a nice night's sleep. They seemed well rested. Very important before these 7:30 draws.
And both of them, as we mentioned, coming off last night's late draw.
Yeah.
And one of them playing again for 10:30, and that's going to be Team Patrick, as that
There it
rock
is.
goes through the house, and yellow won't have enough rocks to catch up. They're going to shake hands, and that'll complete our first draw this morning.
So again, come back and join us at 10:30. We know everybody's awake. Either you're off work celebrating the holiday and or you're headed to work and the boss won't know you're streaming, so come and join us.
We're going to the parade in Mesa.
We're going to the parade in Mesa and inviting some other folks back here to the club to hang out in the warm room, maybe at the Broken Broom Lounge, have a couple beverages and watch some live curling. So we'll be back with you at 10:30. Again, thanks for joining us.